Greetings and welcome back to another video. Thank you to everyone who's watching my videos. Please subscribe if you have not done so yet. So I have an update for you concerning the California transgender student that we spoke about last week. So there's some amazing information and update that I need to share with you all to encourage you to stand up and fight wherever you are because your voice is needed. This ties into Bud Light, it ties into Target, it ties into North Face, it ties into all the corporations and the different entities out there that are positioning themselves to go woke. And we've spoken over here that whenever you decide to take such an approach, you're going to lose a lot of conservatives. You're going to lose Christians. You're going to lose people who have common sense because they do understand that the ideology of teaching children trans at a young age or even introducing trans to children is going to destroy our foundation as a society. I want you to see what happened to this child. Her name is Athena Ryan, and what he decided to do because you and I spoke up. And this is what I want to say. You're speaking up great. Keep it up. Let's watch the whole video.
Advantage, or is that too optimistic? As we know, they bowed out due to the negative pressure. But my question to you is this: is the institution to blame for that by allowing them to compete in the first place? Because obviously the negative pressure is going to be a result of that.
Of course. I mean, none of us asked to have these policies put in place. And it shouldn't be up to us athletes to decide these policies. I mean, at the end of the day, it is clearly unfair that these biological males are entering the female category, and that's why our institutions need to step up and put policies in place that protect the female category.
Matt, the California Interscholastic Federation, CIF, the governing body for high school sports in California, told this to the LA Times. The CIF is disappointed for two of our student athletes and their families because due to the actions of others, they found it necessary to withdraw from the state track and field championships out of concern for the students' well-being. Now, if the CIF actually had the trans runners' well-beings in mind, because they're blaming the actions of others, okay, they wouldn't be subjected to this kind of pressure.
Right.
I mean, Barrett, who won third at the Southern Section Masters event last Saturday, brought on that negative pressure from the crowd with one spectator allegedly yelling to trip her. That's awful. Repeatedly while she ran her 1,600-meter race. It can be heard on video. Those spectators wouldn't be out there. I can't even imagine racing, right? And hearing somebody screaming, trip her. It's not her fault. She shouldn't be in the race in the first place.
Right. That's the problem with these policies, whether it's the California's or the Connecticut policies that Chelsea and other athletes are challenging. When you open the door to female sports being taken over by males, you're going to create problems, most importantly for the female athletes involved, who are going to have their records lost, who are going to lose out on championships and spots on the podium. And so that's why we're advocating for states to do the right thing, to adopt good policies that preserve fairness in sports, that give everybody a place to play, but not at the expense of the female athletes like Chelsea and others.
So the court's now going to reconsider Connecticut's transgender athlete policy. Matt, you're the senior counsel for the Alliance Defending Freedom, which represents 4 female athletes, including Chelsea, who have been consistently deprived of honors and opportunities to compete at these elite levels because the Connecticut Interscholastic Athletic Conference adopted a policy that allows males who identify as females to compete in girls' athletic events. Tell me why you would like the court to reconsider Connecticut's transgender athlete policy.
Well, the hard work that Chelsea and the other female athletes were representing matters. The records that they would have had but for this policy matter. And so we're wanting the court to intervene to make sure that the hard work, the accomplishments of Chelsea and the other athletes are respected, and that ultimately this policy is taken down so that no other young woman in Connecticut or throughout New England faces the indignity, faces the humiliation of losing an opportunity because of a biological male competing in their sport.
All right, Chelsea Mitchell, thank you very much, and Matt Sharp for coming on.
This is what I'm saying. I think that the nation as a whole is understanding the fact of the matter, okay? if you raise your voice, they will hear you. And when they're hearing you, they have no choice but to take action. So Bud Light is feeling it, okay? Target is feeling it. And I'm telling you guys, boycotting Target, it's like a slogan everywhere you go. Hey, Target, if you're listening to this, you are on the verge of becoming worse. I mean, you're going to take over Bud Light at this point, because everybody is talking about boycotting you. I think it's going to surpass Bud Light. Okay. And I know North Face is also doing this. And I don't know who else has something ready for next month. But what is it? It's a few days. It's a few days to June. You ought to be very careful of what you're putting out there. And I'm so grateful for all the lawmakers out there that are trying to put a stop to this in their local state governance. Once those policies are in place, guess what? I think we'll be on the right track. Okay? We'll be on the right track. So use this as an example. Use this as a gauge. If we're able to raise our voice like Athena, and this happened in California, guys, such a liberal state, but there are voices, and it just takes a few. This goes to support exactly what I've been saying on this channel. There are a few that can make a difference. And if I'm looking over my shoulders, right, and I'm a Christian, I'm a conservative, I see what right is. I know what right is. And we all do know what right and wrong is. It's innate. It's embedded in us. So if I see someone standing up for the right thing, it even encourages me and gives me the boldness to also join and say, listen, we can tell that this is wrong. So kudos to everyone out in California, especially the mothers and the fathers of those girls who were the rightful winners of this competition. Kudos to you for speaking up, because look, guess what? If it can happen in California, it can happen in New York, it can happen in all the liberal states, it can happen in Jersey, it can happen in Connecticut, it can happen everywhere. Okay? And then we will be changing the narrative. We will have an opportunity to set things right again. Guess what? We'll be a better nation, and we'll be under God. Exactly. Hey, thank you so much for watching my videos. If you like any of these videos, I want you to subscribe. I don't want you to like. I don't need you to comment. I just want you to subscribe. Thank you so much for sticking with me, and see you on the next one.